Arsenal win the league at Old Trafford. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my first episode of Run the Tapes Back. I'm going to be going through old matches and I'm reviewing them as if they just ended. And I want to do this. I love watching old matches. I like watching old matches. It's fun. I thought, why not make some videos out of it? Okay, I might as well. And today I'm going through an iconic match that I just don't believe gets any representation. Arsenal 1, Man United 0. They go to their bitter rival stadium and say, "Give me the title." How many teams can say they've done that? Arsenal have done it on multiple occasions. They've gone in 1989 to Anfield, won the league. 2002 to Old Trafford, win the league. 2004, White Hart Lane, win the league. They're the kings of it. But just imagine someone going to Sir Alex's Old Trafford and just winning the league right there and then. Insane. And I'm going to start with the context of the match. What you're looking at right now, yes, my water bottle's holding my mic, by the way. Sorry about that. But let's look at the context of the match. What you're looking at right now is the league table right after Arsenal won the game. Man United have 76 points and Arsenal have 84. They've won the league. But let's just reverse that. Let's do a switcheroo. Let's say Man United won the game. Let's give them 3 points. 79. And let's take away the 3 points from Arsenal, 81 points. That's 2 points difference. A 2 points difference that would cause a big mentality shift. Arsenal are going to a relegated Ipswich as their final game anyway. So you might be thinking, they would have won the league anyway. But just imagine the difference in mentality going into play Ipswich, knowing Man United is breathing down your necks. And Man United that's won the league in 1999, 2000 and 2001 are looking for their fourth in a row. And Man United that in their last 21 games in the Premier League won 18. I mean, Arsenal have a healthy record. They're unbeaten in 19 games, and they picked up 51 out of their last 57 points. But just the sheer force, the sheer aura, of Man United breathing down your necks, I'm sure it would have caused a mentality shift. Now look at the lineups for this game. Look at the lineups for Arsenal, and look at who's missing. Look up top, who's not there? Henry's not there. Who's not partnering him? Bergkamp's not there. Look out wide. Perez is not there. Look to the back. Where's Tony Adams? Captain, leader, legend. He's not there. So Arsenal going into their most important game of the season are missing their captain, their top goal scorer, their top assister, and all round just their most creative player. Are we being serious? If I was in 2002 looking at this game, I would have bet that Man United would wipe the floor of Arsenal. That's just what I feel like I would have bet at the time. Bearing in mind, 4 days prior to this game, Arsenal went to play an FA Cup final against Chelsea. So they played an FA Cup final the 4 days before. They're missing some of their best players. What hope do these guys have? I promise these guys don't need hope. They have grit. They have desire. And look at Man United's squad. Okay, Beckham's missing. Van Nistelrooy's not starting. They're starting four-line, a young player. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Mikel Sylvestre is playing at right back. I can understand why they signed Gabriel Heinze after this game. My man is not a centre-back. My man is not a left-back. Absolute stinker today. But let me talk about the match now. It was an electric start from Manchester United, I'll give you that. They were going down the wings, they were putting the balls into the box, they were forcing corners, they were doing their best to try and win this game, to save their title hopes. But, and may I just say, 5 minutes in, they should have possibly got a penalty. Because the corner comes in, Wes Brown headers it, and then Viera does this. Viera does no face, no case. He puts his hands up and the ball hits his arm. And I'll put the picture up. The quality was quite bad, so maybe it was too blurry and too pixelated. But the commentators were quite adamant that the ball hit his hand. And I was thinking, and then they also said that Viera has a habit for some reason of putting his hands up in corners. I don't know. I've not watched a lot of him, so I can't vouch. But I don't know why bro's doing that. So just imagine Man United had scored that. Imagine Man United had got that penalty. They tucked it away. I believe if they had got that penalty and scored, I believe the game would have finished about 3-0, bro. Which is ironic when you hear what I'm about to say. It's ironic, but forcing Arsenal to come out and forcing Arsenal to come out to score 2 more goals. Because not 2 more goals. They would have had to come out and score a goal to pick up a point, right? Because all they needed to win the league was a point. But still, bringing them out to attack, it would have caused a big difference in the way they played. And I just don't believe. I believe after that, Man United would have walked around them and scored more goals. 2, 3, 4. But hey, that's not what happened. And may I just say, today, the Man United players were trying to kill the Arsenal players. 25 minutes in, Man United had 3 players booked. And I'm telling you, at least one of those challenges, if that was today, would have been a red card. No way. Because Keane jumps up, tries to kung fu kick Viera, slightly misses, but the intent was there, bro. The guy tried to kill him. And the ref gave him a yellow. Okay, I don't like seeing players get sent off, especially in big matches. So fair enough, right? But then Scholes goes flying into a challenge. Phil Neville goes flying into a challenge. And Phil Neville didn't even need to do that. It was unnecessary. Like, at least you could say Keane and Scholes were trying to some level to attempt the ball. What was he even doing? There was no need. There was no need. Who was it that he challenged? I think it was Loren. It was Loren or Wiltor, right? They were facing that way. They were facing the byline. They had no, they were facing the throw-in. They were going backwards. They had no chance. He just jumps in 2 foot. I was like, what are you doing, bro? Phil Neville, absolute nonsense. I don't know why he did that. It was stupid. Just picked up a yellow card and handicapped him for no reason. But I have a good theory. Wise man, conspiracy theorist. I have a theory. Because Sir Alex Ferguson, the man's a genius. He knows how to discipline his players. So I feel like with the way they walked out there, guns blazing, trying to kill these players, I believe he was trying to get one of the Arsenal players he was trying to provoke a reaction from one of the Arsenal players to then get them sent off. That's my theory. Because Alex Ferguson is a genius. One of the commentators mentioned how Arsenal's disciplinary record that season was just shit. They, at that point, had 12 red cards in all comps. And they just had a poor disciplinary record. So I genuinely believe Alex Ferguson wanted his players to provoke a reaction from the Arsenal players to get one of them sent off and open up the game. That's a good theory in my opinion. A very good theory. I'm a conspiracy theorist. But that game, after about the 10th minute, Man United's attack was no better than a Sunday League's attack. They were shite. From that moment onwards, they had no chance of scoring. Nothing. Because Arsenal defensively, for a team known for their attacking football, for a team with an attacking manager like Arsene Wenger, their defensive performance this game was unbelievable. Martin Keown, Sol Campbell, Ashley Cole, Ray Parlour today. Oh, it was amazing. Amazing. And who was more impressive today? 1000% Arsenal. When I watched this game, I thought I was going to see some beautiful attacking football. Even though Henry and Bergkamp were missing from the starting 11, I thought, you know what? I'm still going to see some good attacking football. You know, Carnu is starting. Yeah, I can't say Carnu is starting. I thought I'm going to see some good football today. But then I was watching that and I was like, I didn't know an Arsene Wenger team could defend like this. And it just makes me think, if Arsene Wenger had this level of defensive, if his teams had this level of defensive ability in 2008, 9, 10, by flipping God, they would have won Premier League title. And it was Ray Parlour for me is the goal. Ray Parlour is the goal. Every blade of grass he touched. We talk about N'Golo Kante. 75% of the world is covered by water. The rest is covered by N'Golo Kante. 75% of Earth is covered by water. 25% is covered by Ray Parlour. What a performance! He was playing right back, centre back, left back, midfield, number 10, striker, left wing. And when we move to the second half and we look at Arsenal's goal, first of all, Mikel Silvestre, what are you doing? What is he playing at? He just stands there with the ball, and then Ray Parlour comes, just takes it off him. Again, Ray Parlour, the goal, comes and takes it off Mikel Silvestre, gives it to Freddie Ljungberg, runs down the wing, and the defending here is some of the most lackadaisical defending you'll see. It's like Freddie Ljungberg just phases past Laurent Blanc. And I was thinking, what is Laurent Blanc doing here? Because Arsenal defended the whole game. This was the only time the defence was really called upon. And Laurent Blanc just stands there, who? And then his partner in nonsense, Mikel Sylvestre doesn't even try to get back. He jogs back as if he's jogging through a zebra crossing. He's just jogging like it's nothing. And then Freddie Ljungberg misses. And then the third partner in nonsense, Barthez, just pushes the ball straight into danger zones for Wiltor to just come in and slot it away. Man United today shot themselves in the foot. That defending, I was looking at it and I was like, this is a Sir Alex Ferguson team? Defending like this? No chance. Come on, bro. This isn't Sir Alex Ferguson coaching today. It's me. I was shocked. And Barthez, the only time he was called upon, the only time, this guy shits the bed. He's a title-winning goalkeeper. This is just one game I'm critiquing, right? He just pushed it to Wiltor out. Stupid. But all in all, that goal came from Ray Parlour, winning the ball back from Sylvestre, giving it to Ljungberg. So Ljungberg could shoot, miss, but then for the Wiltor to come in and put the ball in the back of the net. It was, and that whole goal, I'm banging on about this goal, right? Because it's the antithesis of Arsenal's entire performance. Because Arsenal today, defensively, undeniable. Defensively, absolute. Ball's coming into the box, Campbell, header away. Ball comes into the box, Keown, header away. If the ball even gets down the byline. Because Cole and Lauren locked up Giggs and Veron today. Veron even stinker and hooked. He came off immediately. Beautiful performance. I was watching it and I was this Viera in the midfield, Edu in the midfield. Is there any words that need to be said? Yes. Amazing. Fantastic. Beautiful. Viera breaking up the play. Keane tried to kill him and I understand why, because this man is so good. Balls in the air, he'll win it. Balls on the ground, long legs, he'll get it. Edu next to him, if he doesn't get it, Edu will get it. If Edu doesn't get it, Keown will get it. Campbell will get it. It doesn't matter. And after all of that, you still have to beat David Seaman, who today wasn't really tested. Okay, wasn't tested today. But bloody hell, if the ball comes to him, because the only the only chance that Man United had to score today was an outside of the box shot from Veron. And it was from a quick corner, right? And the ball's coming through a lot of bodies. There's a lot of people in the box. The way David Seaman is able to read the ball coming through a lot of players, just grab it, hold it, calm the team down. It was amazing. David Seaman, again, the only time he was called upon, amazing. Unlike Fabian Barthez, who was called upon and shut the bed. Cole was great. Viera, like I said, amazing. The two strikers up top didn't really have to do anything today other than lead from the front when it came to pressing and coming back and helping defend. Kanu, again, people told me he's the best Nigerian talent. I was hoping to see some step overs. Right. I was hoping to see some skills. But what I got today instead was a good defensive performance from him too. Can't complain. Because all Arsenal really had to do today was come in, get the job done, leave, lift the title. And I'm sure if Arsenal had come in guns blazing and tried to attack without Henry, without Beckham, without Perez, and they lost, people would be calling for Arsene Wenger's head. But today they came in, solid defensive performance. Kanu dropping deep, helping defend. Keane and Scholes had no chance to take the game today. They both tried to kill players instead. Which, hey, fair enough, man. Solskjaer wasn't in the game today. Couldn't really do much. And I guess that moves me swiftly on to player ratings, right? I'll start with Arsenal's team. David Seaman, 7. Like I said, good performance. The only time he's called upon, great. Lauren, I gave a 7. Lauren, the way he locked up Giggs today. Giggs had to move sides. Giggs started on the left, went to the right. Maybe that was because Veron came off the pitch, but regardless, stunk it. And usually, to be honest, when I watch old Man United games, Giggs is very good. I'm a be real. Giggs always for me is a standout. That's why I don't like when people disrespect him, because I'm just picking random games and each time he's beautiful. Great to watch. Moving to Keown. Keown and Campbell, I gave them both 8 apiece. Anything that came into the box today, absolutely won it. This is defending that I like to see, man. Like, this is what I like to see when I see centre-backs. I made a video about this on TikTok one time. I don't want to see defenders attack. As much as you want defenders to have the ball and play line-breaking passes, as important as it is, I just don't want to see it. I want to see defenders head the ball. I want to see defenders move players off the ball. That's what I came to see. And Campbell and Keown today, they gave me that joy. And Mr. Ashley Cole out at left back. I'm gonna be real, solid performance. I don't really remember him having to do much offensively, but defensively, you couldn't get by him. Veron had no chance, absolutely no chance, especially with Campbell coming in and doubling up when need be. And Parlour, oh my god, Cole today had the closest thing to Kante today. In Ray Parlour coming deep, helping him out, going to the other side, helping Lauren out, coming back to Cole's side, helping him out. And that's why I gave Ray Parlour a 9. The only reason I didn't give him a 10 is because he didn't score a hat trick. That's genuinely the only reason. But for what Arsenal came to do today, which was get their 3 points, get their point, and move on and win the league. Ray Parlour was perfect today, and that's why he gets a 9 out of 10. Absolutely beautiful, man. And then Viera, I gave an 8. Edu, a 7. The reason I gave Edu a 7 is because I didn't want to give him the same as Viera, because I thought Viera was just a bit better. And Viera, today, like I said before, if the ball's in the air, it's his. If it's on the ground, it's his. He dominated the midfield today. It was his pitch today. And when I was watching the post-match interviews, I was hearing that apparently the people in, upstairs, in Sky Sports, they were talking about how he might be linked to Real Madrid, and he sounds like he's about to be gone. Should I check now if he's a... Let me just search on Viera, Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Was he going to go to Real Madrid? Because they were talking about him going to Madrid. He was heavily linked, but then eventually he didn't. But watching that performance, I can completely understand why Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, Galacticos, why they wanted Viera. And I'm telling you, if Viera played for that Real Madrid side with Zidane, with Figo, and they just were able to he would have been able to just let the Galacticos do what they want. And he would have just been that midfielder to anchor it all down, defensively be solid. Would have been amazing. And Edu, I gave a 7. Great performance. What Viera was, if Viera wasn't there, it was Edu. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then Ljungberg, 7. Good. I mean, he was important for the goal, but then again, he didn't miss. It was more Barthez' fault that he scored. But it was a good performance, doing the same as Ray Parlour, coming deep, trying to defend, helping Lauren out. But yeah, 7. I think 7's fair. Decent performance. The only person I gave the lowest 7 today was Kanu. World Tour would have got a 5 if he didn't score. But he scored. Took his chance as well. So I have to give him a 7. But Kanu, these two strikers today, what they were there to do was lead from the front in the press. And they did their jobs. For what? But I'm just going off general performance for what your position requires. But for what the game required, those two did pretty well. So I can definitely hear the argument for Kanu being higher rated today. But that's just my opinion, dog. And then Barthez, going into Manchester United. Barthez, bro. You were called upon once. And you shat the bed. Why? If he saved that, even if he didn't save it, they would have lost. But still, they would have lost the league because Man United, Arsenal would have won. Would have at least drawn that game. They would never score in Man United. But Barthez, the only time you're called upon, don't push the ball into the danger area. Even Barthez was moving so charged up this game. He was trying to fight everyone as well. I was like, what's wrong with my man? Lee Dixon came on towards the end of the game, like the last 2 minutes. And a corner came in, and then Barthez called it a great job. And then he just started trying to scrap Lee Dixon. He was like, jumping in his face, trying bulking in his face. I was like, what's wrong with this guy? Relax, dude. It's okay, bro. But he shot the bed today, 4 out of 10. Phil Neville, 4 out of 10. He would have got a 6, right? But you're like 20 minutes in the game. Will Todd is literally going nowhere with the ball, and you 2-foot him and get a yellow card. Why? You handicapped yourself. Why? I just can't give you higher than that because you handicapped yourself. It's just stupid. He didn't really offer anything offensively either. Nothing. Because Man United as a whole today, as a collective, offered nothing going forward. But Wes Brown is the highest rated in this team. I gave him a 7. The only guy in this team who wanted to defend. Honestly. Who defended like he wanted to be there. For that goal that Will Todd scored, the only person that was actually trying to stop the ball from going in the net was Wes Brown. Laurent Blanc was just there. He thought, my presence is enough, and he just stood there. OG aura defending. Sylvestre, oh my god. What the fuck? Sylvestre generally is a solid player, right? But today, 3 out of 10. My man stunk up the park. He was taking the ball and walking nowhere with it. Nowhere. I was thinking, what's wrong with this guy? He would get the ball, stand there, And then he was just confused. He didn't know where he was on the pitch. And then they would all the time take it off him. He was the one that got robbed for the goal. He was the one that then tracked back for the goal. 3 out of 10. Laurent Blanc gave a 4 out of 10. For what I just said previously, the guy, OG aura defending and failed. On the ball, nothing spectacular, to be honest. From what I remember, nothing spectacular. He just passed it to Scholes, or just tried a few little. Moving into the midfield, Keenan Scholes generically had a solid performance. The only reason, again, I don't give them a 6. Why did you guys try to kill the players? If Sir Alex Ferguson gave you guys orders to try and kill Arsenal players, fair enough. But let's assume he didn't. You just handicapped yourself. For what? You gave yourself yellow cards in the midfield, knowing you're playing against Viera and Edu. Why? Knowing that possibly Ljungberg and Connery, you might have to tactical for them. So you just decided to just pick up yellow cards, handicap yourself. Scholes was moving hella charged up this game as well. Why? But then again, I give them a 1 higher rating than Phil Neville, because they did offer slightly more offensively, and that's it. Then Giggs and Veron. It's not even how you say his name. Giggs and Veron. I gave them both 4 apiece. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change Giggs. I'm going to give Giggs 5. Giggs in the first half, 4. Giggs in the second half, 6. So we'll give him a 5. We'll average it out. Because in the second half, coming off the right-hand side, left-footed, he was doing a bit better. He put in, I remember, one good cross. That, if Forlan could head the ball, that was a good cross. But then Big Sol Campbell just towered above him and got it. So, but all in all, I would say for a player that I know him to be, a creative player, someone you want creating chances, and for a game they needed to win, poor performance, man. 4.5. Nah, 5. I'll give him a 5. Veron 4, stinker and hooked. To be honest, the only possibility, and the XG for this is probably 0.13, but this was their only possibility to score from outside the box. But other than that, shat the bed. Came off the 58th minute. The commentators were talking about, in fact, how Sir Alex Ferguson is defending him a lot, but he's just not playing to that standard. And that's, I think, a fact that I can vouch for, because I know he came from Lazio, but then I think he was at United for 2 years when Sir Alex Ferguson was trying the 3 in the midfield gimmick, and then after that he had to leave. Obviously wasn't good enough. That was around the time Rooney and Ronaldo started coming through. And then the 2 strikers, Solskjaer 3 out of 10. He did absolutely nothing. The only highlight I can give you from that game was he cleared the ball once. That's it. That's the only highlight. Nothing. For an attacking player in a must-win game, a game you guys need to win if you want to win your 4th title in a row, and you play like that. He did nothing. Nothing. Giggs, I can give you some highlight. Veron, I can give you a snippet. He did nothing. For Lan, I gave a 5. A player that his time at United didn't work out. But went abroad to Spain, Atletico Madrid, Uruguay. Great player, right? Today he was their most dangerous attacker. He still did nothing in the end. There was no end product. But whenever he got the ball, he looked like he was... If I was to bet on someone creating a chance or scoring a goal in that team, it'd be him. So I give him a 5. But Solskjaer, oh my God. Horror performance. Quinton Fortune came on and did more than him in like 10 minutes. Horror performance. Quinton Fortune, in fact, let me just give him a 5. He's the only player, he's the only sub our rate. Van Nistelrooy, I'll give him 3. Did nothing as well. Came on the pitch, dominated by Campbell and Keown. Did nothing when he came on the pitch. Absolute stinker. But regardless, great defensive performance from Arsenal. Amazing. It's a defensive performance where you're even more impressed by it because of the fact that Arsene Wenger is known to be a more attacking coach. And to then be an attacking coach and coach a defensive performance against your bitter rivals at their ground, against attackers like Giggs and Scholes. Well, this team's handicapped right now. But as an attacking coach, to go and coach a defensive performance like that, away from home, to win the league, I have to applaud you. Amazing performance from Arsene Wenger, who I'll give a 10 out of 10 today. A 9 out of 10. I'll give him a 9 out of 10 because still, attacking was a bit shit. But for what he came in to do, 10 out of 10. Amazing, amazing performance. Amazing coaching. Sir Alex Ferguson, I'll give a 4. poor performance today. Can you really blame the guy? The attacking options he had, stinky. Giggs was the only attacking option I look at, and I'm like, he could do something here. Varane, for Beckham, no way. Van Nistelrooy didn't start. This is the time after the White York and Andy Cole. There's nothing they can offer, man. So, can I blame him? No. But whatever. All in all, it was an amazing game to watch. I would really encourage you guys to go and watch this game. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1. Alright? If you guys can go in the comments, please give me some tips on how to improve this, because this is something that I want to take even further. I want to do a lot more. I want to do a lot more games. And if there's something I can improve, please tell me. So yeah, that's my verdict. It was a great game. If you like watching defensive performances, though, I'll be real. If you just want to see skills and step-overs, do not watch this game. You'll try to hang yourself after it. There was absolutely no attacking threat from either team. But all in all, I enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You know I love you guys. Stay wise.